Hey guys, what's up? This is Byron, the Multiple Interests Man here, or Byron the Multiple Potentialite, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to another episode of Byron's Bios. Now tonight I will be reviewing another modern animated film that is a musical, and it is exclusive to Netflix. And yes, it is a Netflix original that was released a few years back, so not too long ago actually, which is none other than Leo. It is another animated film that Adam Sandler has worked on himself since 8 Crazy Nights in 2002. And by the way, he actually had his own animation company, which is apparently no longer around. And like I said, if you have yet seen this film, there is a bit of spoilers, so please avoid spoilers at all costs. And you can skip to a certain time frame here on the screen if you don't want to be spoiled. And just watch the rest of the vid as I mention certain categories of the effort that the movie has put into. And with that being said, let's get started. Now, the plot is where we get this 74-year-old Tuatara named Leo, voiced by Adam Sandler, who has been a class pet at Fort Myers Elementary School ever since he was born, and lives with a Florida box turtle named Squirtle, voiced by Bill Burr. And in the present day, Mrs. Salinas, voiced by Alison Strawn, who is a very sweet and caring 5th grade teacher, was planning on doing all this fun and educational stuff for her students that are in 5th grade. From reading a classic book, Charlotte's Web, to the end of the school year field trip to the Magic Land Park. However, at a parent-teacher conference, Mrs. Salinas confirms to everybody that she's pregnant and that she would be on a maternity leave, which made everyone at the school confused and devastated. So the next day, a substitute teacher takes over Mrs. Salinas, but it's not what the 5th graders were hoping for. It turns out to be a strict substitute named Virginia Malkin, aka Miss Malkin, who's voiced by Cecily Strong, that forces all the 5th grade students in the class to read books that are nowhere at the 5th grade level. However, instead of all that, she makes each student take a class pet home for the weekend and treat them like a normal pet. So they start off with Leo, and he was first taken home by Summer, who is voiced by Sunny Sandler, who is overly talkative, but Leo tries to escape since he didn't want to be around her. However, when he attempted to do so, he accidentally reveals his true colors, as he can secretly talk. Summer tells Leo about her issues and concerns in life, and Leo gives her advice regarding her struggles. One by one, each student would take Leo home, and those other students learn that Leo can actually talk, while giving each of them advice on their issues and concerns. And then, after a jealousy betrayal that Squirtle gave Leo by exposing him to the class, Miss Malkin takes him home and his true colors have been shown to her. Although she did tell Leo about her broken life, where she never accomplished a dream her whole life as a teacher. And yes, he does give that teacher advice. Now, this is where things get insane. But prior to the class field trip that the 5th graders won their historical figure reenactments from the history fair, Miss Malkin abandons Leo at the Everglades. And the 5th graders were willing to apologize to Leo, but Miss Malkin made a white lie, claiming that Leo left the students. And then Squirtle leads his way to the Magic Land Park, where he has Ellie's drum, revealing what really occurred, leading to Miss Malkin confessing the truth. So they all go back to the Everglades to rescue Leo, as he's not only abandoned there, but he gets threatened and surrounded by alligators. And spoiler alert, Leo actually gets saved from the Everglades. On the last day of school, Leo advises the 5th graders that are graduating to look out for each other as they enter middle school. And at the end of the day, Miss Malkin gets a full-time job as a permanent teacher and gets assigned to the kindergartners that she has to deal with. And Leo and Squirtle continue to be the school class pets, living their best lives. You know, there are some things that we should talk about when it comes to Leo. And I am quite surprised by how good this movie is. Like, the animation, for example, is really good. I mean, it does seem like the animation that you see on a direct-to-video film that we no longer often see, but this makes Norm of the North look even better. Well, I should not be comparing any films, but you get what I'm saying. Since this movie is considered a musical, every single song that they have in this film is well composed, well written, and the singing voices that some of the 5th graders have are so good. It's like some of them can sing really well, and I appreciate what they've done in each song. There weren't too many songs, but they had a decent amount of them that made it a musical for both kids and adults to enjoy. In fact, this movie is very appealing to both kids and adults alike. Even the song When I Was 10 was performed really well. Now, every single character has their own personality, and we got to see that in every one of them. Like the teachers, the 5th graders, and even Leo and Squirtle themselves. Especially how Leo was concerned about his lifespan, where he overheard that Tuatara's, I think it's what he called it, Tuatara's? I don't know. That Tuatara's can only live to 75 years. When it turns out that he was told that Tuatara's can actually live to 110 years old. Other than that, they did everything they could to make every other character unique. The only thing I didn't like was where this one black kid, who sounded like a dude, but then his voice changed to a tone where he sounded like a high-pitched kid, like, I don't even know. It was just weird. And we saw that change in a lot of characters, which I found it a bit unnecessary. And that has happened to Diego from the Door franchise, if y'all remember him. And another thing also, they have a group of other kids that don't even look normal. In fact, the kindergartners that are in the film look so weird. It's like, I can't even get over the moments of those little children because their little heads look inflated, like literally. Especially the way they act and run, they seem like a bunch of V. They seem like a bunch of idiots. Even the noises they make as well. Like, oh my god. In fact, the reason I got into this movie in the first place is that I saw a compilation of clips on Instagram where those kindergartners act insane, and it was wild to witness those moments. So I later did research on where those clips came from, and it was from this film. Regarding everything else, the plot was well written, the story is unique, and the voice acting they put in, like I said, is great. Regardless of who voiced each character. Not to mention, I thought that Adam Sandler did great at voicing Leo because he was so good at making him sound so old to match his age, which fits his character perfectly. And this is why I give Leo a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, I do kind of recommend checking out this film just for the laughs. But if you're not into the animation, well, this isn't for you. But if it is, then that's great. Well guys, other than that, that is my review on Leo. I hope you enjoyed my episode of Byron's Bios, and I will be doing more movie reviews. I'm gonna have another movie review with Lightyear very soon, as well as a Minecraft movie, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, this is me, Byron, signing off. Double peace.